Hi, and welcome to episode 18 of the Autumn Poppy Designs podcast. My name is Paula, and I am your host, and I'm coming to you from Cambridge, Ontario, where I live with my family, my two kids, and my husband, and our cat Pepper. So if you're new here, this is a podcast all about knitting. Just knitting and books, I guess. we'll get into that. So yeah, welcome. It's so great to have you here, and I have quite a few things to share with you. So let's get started. Let's see. Finished projects. I don't think I have any. I actually don't know if I shared with you last time, but I had Penny's Mountain Mist pullover finished. I can't remember if I shared that, but it's finished. I'm sure I showed it to you if it was a whip. So I will show you the one I'm making for Theo now. Theo is 4, but he is quite tall. He's still very, very skinny. So finding clothes for him is really quite hard. And I really need to start sewing so I can start making him some pants, because right now everything I find for him has to have a drawstring pull. And that includes like jeans and things. Or it has to have those, you know how they have the rope in the side so you can tighten it, or the elastic band rather. Anyway, it has to have that, and he finds those extremely uncomfortable. So he is about a size 3T in the waist, so about a 3-year-old, but his length is almost that of a 6-year-old. So tricky. Anyway, I am knitting him the Mountain Mist pullover, and because of his small frame but height, I am knitting the 2 to 4 year size, but I will have to get him to try it on to see if the length is good or if it's going to need to be longer. Pepper. She's lying on top of everything. Okay. Oh my goodness. And she's shedding like crazy right now. Okay. So here is Theo's Mountain Mist. And I am using all stash yarns, or actually not even stash yarns, they're leftover yarns. So I am so happy with how it looks. This is natural. It is the leftover skein from my Urban Adventure pullover. This is just a gray. And it is also leftover, no, that one is leftover from my throwback pullover by Andrea Mowry, and same with this one. And then this is leftover from my husband's Rift sweater by, I think it was Jared Flood, but it was a Brooklyn tweed pattern either way. But yeah, so I have this much left of the first skein, which is a mess because it gets thrown around the bag, and then I have another one. So I definitely have plenty of yarn to finish his sweater, but I do need to get him to try it on to see where the length is. I am losing stitches, that's not good. And yeah, so yes, I am using the needles that it called for, so a US 8, and then I used a 6 for the ribbing. And yeah, I used the natural for Penny's pullover too. But yeah, so I guess I should probably tell you what the yarn is. It is Cascade 220. So like I said, natural, gray, and then this one was Pacific Heather. Yes, I think so. Pacific Heather. Yes. And then this one, this speckly one here, that is the Cascade 220 was gonna say superwash, but it's not called that. It's called, I actually don't know. I can't remember. But it's the ones that look like they're hand spun. Yeah, it's like they have a whole new line of that, and they actually just introduced fingering weight version of that. Actually, I don't even know if they just introduced it. My local yarn store just started carrying it, so that was exciting. But yes. Okay. Oh my goodness. I am just covered in my own hair and my cat's hair. So, that's Theo's pullover. Oh, I actually started knitting a sweater for myself. If you watched my Vlogmas videos, yes, you would have seen that I ripped out my Helmi pullover by Sari Nordland, and I've now recast it. Yay! I'm almost at the part where you join it in the round. So there's not much to show you, but I am using actually I can't even tell you what I'm using because I don't remember what it's called, and I don't have the thing with me. Oh my goodness. It's a DK, but it's very thin. It's more of like a sport than a DK. It's beautiful because it's heathered. But it's organic. And it's from Estelle Yarns. Yes, I just can't remember the name. And it's living in this beautiful project bag that I got from the kitchen sink shop. It's very springtimey, and I love it because I want winter to be over now. We have been getting dumped on so much this January, or this past January, I guess. And honestly, last week it rained and it got warm. So everything melted, but then it was below freezing at night, and it was just a skating rink out there, and it was terrible because it snowed on top of it, so you were kind of safe, but not really. And then 2 days ago, walking Theo to school, all the ice is still there, and it's been barely melting. So on the way back, we were crossing the street, and I almost wiped out, and in my flailing to grasp control again, I kind of knocked Penny over, and she fell and hit her bum. So I had to carry her home because her bum was sore and she didn't want to walk, and it was like, urgh. But I do love walking Theo to school. I love getting fresh air twice a day by taking Theo for a walk, because Penny's not much for going outside to play in the snow right now. She's 2.5. And she's just learning to love the weather, so we're not gonna push her too much. Okay, what else do I have to share with you? I have so many socks on the needles and kind of half done, and new patterns coming out. So I will show you my Spruce Grove socks, which I think I showed you in the last podcast too. Not sure. But it's this sock. It's toe up, heel flap gusset. I did a little pop of color in the heel turn, and then it's a folded cuff, so you get a little color here. And it, like I said, it's toe up. Let me grab my blockers here. Sorry. This will be easier to show you the pattern on the front if I twist it. Sorry, it's taking forever. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. So here's the pattern on the front. I hope you can see that okay and it's not blowing out too much. But we've got pearl bumps, we've got a little bit of cabling and lace. And then on the back of the leg, I put in the same cable that runs on the outside of the pattern. on the front. And yeah, so, and yes, I know I knit my socks very short because I have large calves and I don't want to increase stitches. I'd rather just have shorter socks. So there we go. I really love the way these turned out, and right now I am working on the second sock, and I'm only at the gusset increases, so I still have a bit of a way to go. I think I'm about halfway through the gusset increases, and I'm using my Haya sharps, which I love. I love these for working lace. They are so good at picking up stitches because they are quite sharp. I have impaled myself with these quite a few times. So very sharp, but they work great. Yeah, so the yarn I'm using is Akara Yarns in the Gettin' Hoogie with It. Yes, this was a club kind of special release colorway that we did all together 2 years ago now, I think. And it was a sock set, and it came with this with the beautiful orange. And yeah, we did it as a fall release. It was me, Garlene of the Kitchen Sink Shop, and Rose from Akara Yarns. We released it as a set, bag, stitch markers, and yarn. So yeah. That means that unfortunately you cannot get this color anymore, but I am finally using it, and I'm using stash yarn, so I was very excited by that. All right, moving on. I want to share with you this. I have this beautiful basket that just hangs out, and it is full of yarn for all the projects that I am currently working on, and I have 3 others. So yes, I am gonna give you a bit of a sneak peek at the end of all the new patterns that I am working on that I haven't shared yet, because I don't know when I will be releasing them. So yes, okay. I'm sorry, this is so all over the place. I wasn't really planning on recording one, and then it's date night tonight, so I'm looking okay. I did my makeup, I did my hair, and I was like, I'm kind of overdue for a podcast episode, so here we go. Yeah, Pepper, stop eating everything. So I say that a lot, and I apologize. I have, okay, speaking of stash yarn, I have had this beautiful sock set in my collection for about a year. And since it showed up at my house, I was like, I need to do something very special with this because it is beautiful. I mean, look at these colors. They are stunning. They make me so, so happy. And I didn't know what to do with it. So the other day, and by the other day, I mean like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now, I was sitting around and I was scrolling through Instagram, and suddenly this idea popped into my head. Mostly because I've been seeing people use minis so much lately. And I absolutely love everything that's been popping up on Instagram in terms of socks and shawl designs and things like that that have been using mini skeins. And I was like, all right, I should either pick one of these patterns to knit some socks with, to use up my beautiful mini skeins with, or design something of my own finally. So I got this book, and it's in the kitchen. I don't have it on me, but it's in the kitchen. I got the Selbu Mitten Pattern book from my local yarn store, and it's it's a really big book. Anyway, it has all the history of cell luminance, and it's just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful book. And it also comes with over 500 color work charts, which is so exciting. So I was flipping through this book and I came across this one chart, and suddenly it was clear. I knew exactly what I needed to do. So after much tweaking, Pepper! Oh my goodness, she's trying to eat my fern right now. So after much tweaking and changing my mind a couple times, I designed these. And I've already put out a testing call for them. So they're already being tested, and pattern will be coming out in March. But yeah. And so they're knit cuff down in the round, obviously. There's color work, there's a bit of texture with the pearl ridge there, which I really like because I find it makes it stand out a bit more. Yeah, and then I cut in the heel, which I've already done once, so I was pretty confident, or twice, so I was pretty confident about it. Anyway, I cut in the heel, and I don't like the typical afterthought heel. I find it's tight and it pulls, especially right here. I find it pulls. So I saw somewhere that someone had done an alternate heel, but I couldn't find instructions for it anywhere, or an explanation of how it's worked or anything like that, so I just designed my own. It's basically like sorry, I'm watching Pepper crawl into my fern right now, and I just want to yell at her. Pepper! Pepper! Oh my goodness. This cat, I swear. She's gonna eat all my plants. I don't know what it is. She adores my spider plant. She's been eating the babies off of it, and it makes me so mad. And now she's playing with my tape measure. Oh my goodness. At least she doesn't attack this guy. I would be so mad if she attacked this guy, because I love that plant. It's my longest living plant. Anyway, the heel I designed is, oh, actually you can't really see that, can you? Here, let me try with the other sock, because I made them different. See? Different. Same, but different. Anyway. Can you see that better? There we go. So it's a rounded heel, which means that you are decreasing a few times around, and I love it. If it's way roomier, it actually kind of like, it's like the rounded toes that you get, I can't think of their name right now. I think I saw the Crazy Sock Lady did one, and I know So Sweet Violet has a rounded toe as well. But yeah, basically kind of sort of the same idea. You decrease in the round, and it creates this nice like little swirl, and then you Kitchener stitch the last couple of stitches together, and that's it. So when you roll up your sock, it looks really weird and funny, but it's very comfortable to wear, and it's much roomier. So I really, really like it, and it's in the pattern. And yeah. So, yes, in testing, I do have a finished object. I was lying. And yeah. So the, I'm sorry, I say so really a lot, and I even know that when I'm typing, I end up writing it down quite a lot. I'm sorry. I will take better care not to do that. But yes, this is the mini skein set that I got is from Loom Wool in the UK. She was having a release and this sock set just really caught my attention, and I fell in love with it and had to have it, and here we are. All right, moving on. I have more socks to share with you. I picked up my Halloween socks that I started for my husband last Halloween, which really isn't that long ago, but last year. So I picked them up and I started working on them again. And I was taking them on the walk to Theo, to get Theo to school, but it's been freezing, so my fingers have been falling off, but I put in the heel and I've done the decreases, so now I'm just knitting the foot. I am using my 9-inch circulars, which are my favorite, and I am using my tiny little stitch markers from my shop. They only go up to a US 2.25 or 2.25 millimeter US 2, 2.75 millimeter, I'm sorry, US 2, because they're quite small. I don't know if you can see that very well, but I love them because I find if I use bigger ones, I'm always slipping stitches, like picking up a stitch under or behind, you know what I mean. So I use these small ones and I love them. They add a nice little bit of bling, and they're tiny. They just make me so happy. Anyway, this is Spooky or Speckle or something like that from Area 51 Fibers. And yeah, V said he doesn't want them to be Halloween socks. He would really like it if they could just be all year round socks. So he asked for blue, and I think it looks so fun. I might actually do the whole toe in the blue too. And the blue is Cascade Heritage in blue, I guess. I don't know what the color is. It's sorry, sitting on my foot. It's leftover yarn from a pair of socks I made him almost 2 years ago now. So I can't tell you what it is, what the color is. Okay. I am also working on a pair of socks for myself. I am using yarn from Crux Fibers. Brittany had a shop update, and I got a 50-gram skein of her, I can't remember the name, oh my goodness, I think it was just Crux, or it was her birthday colorway. So this is it. I hope you can see that okay. It doesn't blow out too much. No, it's blown out. Okay, let's see. It's stunning. Basically, all you need to know is it's stunning. And it's BFL, so it's blue-faced. Not going to attempt the last one. But it's BFL. It is just BFL. Anyway, it's stunning. So this is what it looks like knit up. And I am using her Midnight Genius held double with mohair and silk, but it's very different than traditional mohair and silk. It's wool mohair, that's why it's wool and mohair and silk. And yeah, it is just, it's beautiful. I really think it's just beautiful. It has less mohair in it than you would think. And I don't know, it's very different. I've never seen anything like this. It's naturally, it's not machine made. It comes from I can't remember where it comes from. It's from a farm in Canada. I just can't remember where. And it is hand spun. And yeah, it doesn't have as big of a halo, but it's great for reinforcing heels and toes. And I really like the way it just speckled. It looks really fun. And then yeah, I'm toe up, and it's I'm done the gusset increases, so I'm ready to put in my heel. And yeah, that's really it. I am also using a stitch marker I took from my shop because it was adorable and I needed to have it. It is this tiny, tiny little flower. Let me get a little closer so I can show you it better. Nope, does not want to focus at all on it. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. But yeah, tiny, cute, little, adorable flower. So yes, I have these in my shop right now, and they come with a lovely little teapot stitch marker that has some purple and pink beads attached to it, if you're interested. And you can find the link to my shop down below. So yes, I am knitting on those socks, and they are lovely and they make me so happy. And I also kicked up some other yarn of hers that I've gotten a while ago, but I haven't gotten a chance to cast on yet. And it is this beautiful sock set. So it comes with this beautiful purple, and here's the self-striping. And the purple matches my nails exactly. Anyway, and that is the set that came with the mohair. But there's plenty of mohair to use for both socks, and then possibly even a third pair, because I'll just be using it for the toe and heel. And yeah, I am working a heel flap and gusset construction because I find that fits me the best. So, and that is living in this project bag that I made. I was trying my hand at sewing with some of these beautiful fabrics that I got from Daily Like Canada. And yeah, didn't put in, like, it's not very stiff, but yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun trying to learn to sew and stuff, and what better way to practice than by making a couple project bags, because that was something I wanted to bring into the shop, but I am not very good, and so I will not be doing that. Yeah. Okay. What else? What else? I think that's all of my selfish knitting, if you will. I did, my one friend told me that she was using all of her leftover self-striping to knit a northeasterly blanket. And I absolutely love that idea. I've had the pattern for a long time, and I was gonna use minis, but then I started working, I kept going with my Cozy Memories instead. And then I was using the leftovers from the Cozy Memories to make the Battenberg blanket when that came out. And so when I heard that she was using her self-striping to do the northeasterly, I became obsessed. I love the idea. So I cast one on. And look how fun that is. It is so, so much fun. I am showing you the wrong side. Okay, this is the right side. But yeah, it's so much fun, and it works because the row count, like the stitch count, is so small that it actually like stripes nicely. So yeah, and I have a lot of self-striping, like not a lot, but I will have a lot once I start knitting all the self-striping I have. So this is from Nicole C. Mendez. It is her Rudolph colorway from like 2 years ago. I think she still brings it out every year, but I got this like 2 years ago, and I knit my husband and my son, who was maybe a year old, matching socks. No, I don't think he was a year old. Doesn't matter. I knit the matching socks. So this is what I have left over. And then this is also from Nicole C. Mendez. I can't tell you the name of this one though, but it was also for a pair of socks. I did weigh this. This is still 50 grams. So I might either make myself a pair of shorties first or knit Penny a pair of socks. Because 50 grams is still a lot. Like it's a lot. Like I could get a full pair of socks out of this if I used a contrast color. So might still do that. Sorry, I realize I'm blowing out a lot and I don't know why. Because the window's over there. Okay. Also, Nicole C. Mendez yarn. She was my first introduction into self-striping and I went kind of crazy. And I am wearing the socks with this yarn right now. And this one I think is close to 50 grams, but I might make Penny a pair of socks out of these because it is such a fun colorway. And then I have this one. It's called Steel Town from the Cozy Knitter. And I knit my hubby a pair of birthday socks out of this yarn. So that's going into the blanket because this is only like 10 grams, I think, or 15 or 20. I don't know. Anyway, then I have this mystery scrap from something. Don't know. And then I have this beautiful self-striping from that's bad. I should know. I designed my socks in this. The Candy Cane Lane socks. It was a collaboration. Oh my god. I want to say Do You Knit, but it's not. Die For You. I don't know. I can't remember. That's really bad. I'm so sorry. But yes, her yarn is just beautiful though. And if you have not used her yarn before, please do. I will link her down below. But yes, this was not one of a kind, but she designed the yarn specifically from a color palette I had shown her with like my ideas and inspirations and stuff. And it's very vintagey, Christmassy, and I adore it. It's beautiful. This one is also about 50 grams, maybe a little less, but I think I'm just gonna put it into the blanket because it is beautiful. And I would really like to be able to see it all. Yeah, okay. So this yarn turned into this because I was knitting Penny baby socks. And I knit her like 2 different pairs. But I only have like 1 kicking around that she never wore because I think I made it too small or something. So I'm gonna unpick it and throw it in the blanket. Okay. So yeah. Oh, look at that. And then this is all that I have left from Theo's Christmas socks in the Doctor Who colorway from Area 51 fibers. And I think I have a couple more tiny little balls like that kicking around somewhere, so I'm gonna go hunt for them later to put them all into the bag so I can have my blanket bag and I can pick it up and knit on it whenever I want. Yeah, okay. I think that is definitely it for selfish knitting. Although it's not really selfish, it's just knitting out I'm not designing with. But yeah, so now I can show you all of the patterns I have in the works. I'm not going to go into crazy detail because it'll just take too long, but also I'm not ready to do that yet. So you get a quick peek. Yeah. I started off the year with designing those Spruce Grove socks and working on this cowl that I had started last year. And I did share this one already on Instagram, but I can show you it again. It is a fun color work cowl. It's meant to be very graphic, very color work, fun. And I was originally gonna end it here at the pink and then seam it, and I am losing stitches again. Anyway, I was gonna do that, but then that means it would have been like this, which, I mean, looking at it now looks really great, but I decided I wanted it to be double wrapped. Yeah, because with blocking it'll stretch quite a bit. I don't know, I felt like I wasn't done with it, but now looking at it, maybe I am done with it. But also not, because this was barely 20 grams of each contrast color, and I would love to put more color, like use the colors again. I was actually thinking of repeating these sections but with different color combinations. I don't know, I'm still thinking on it, but I do like this. I don't know. I feel like maybe if I did it like this, it'd be too, like, it's too, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Tell me in the comments below. Yeah, let me know what you think, what I should do. But yeah, I am using yarn from Bryn Dye Works, but she is having a hard time with her supplier right now in this base, which kind of really sucks. The newest order she got was all messed up, and it seems like the supplier is not a very nice person. So it is Peruvian Highland wool, or, oh my goodness, I should have really prepared for this, and I am so sorry. Is it Peruvian Highland or Highland Peruvian wool? It's like what Knit Picks Wool of the Andes is, and it's the same thing as Cascade 220. But yes, hers is a fingering weight base, and I got so I asked if I could just see color options for this beautiful set of mini skeins that she dyed up for her Color in Film series, and these were the colors she dyed up, and they are stunning. Anyway, so I bought the mini skein set from her, and then I was just looking to have a color comparison, whether to use like white or black or gray, and then she sent me all of this. So these are 50-gram balls, and with the way I am doing the color work, I'm only using maybe at the most 20 grams if I do it as a double wrap. Otherwise, this is barely 10 grams. So, but I am almost done. Well, actually, there's still quite a bit here of the main ball. It was 100 grams. But yeah, anyway, I wanted something very in-your-face, graphic, 90s. I don't know what it was. I was just craving something like this, and I love bright, loud designs as accessories. Not an everyday statement, but yeah, I don't know. So yes, she sent me that, and it's beautiful, and I love the rustic wool because it makes the color work pop more. And it's, that kind of yarn is meant for color work knitting, so yes, yes. Okay. That's all I'm going to say about that one. I'm still working on it, but tell me in the comments below what you think. I asked on Instagram and I didn't get a lot of response, which is heartbreaking, because I am very curious. I designed my Cassiopeia Cowl, which is like bandana shaped, like you knit it in an asymmetrical triangle shape and then you seam it in the back, very much like the Shift from Andrea Mowry, but this was done in one yarn, eyelets, bulky, completely different. Anyway, and yeah, I love that style because you just pop it on over your head and you're good to go. But I also love double wrap cowls, like infinity cowls, double wrapped, and so that's what this one was going to be, or it might still be, and I absolutely love it. But then there's also like the funnel cowls, I guess, the ones that you just kind of like pop over your head and they're like this long to knit, like super long to knit, and you just go in the round till you're done. And that's also a very popular design, but I find that when I wear those, they kind of like, you know, where the top just kind of spills forward and then this is all exposed and doesn't feel like it's doing its job of keeping me warm. So while I've been wanting to design one of those, I don't, because I don't find them very practical personally. So, but they are fun to knit. Like, it's great knitting in the round and just keep going with different textures, colors, and things like that. But then you put it on and you can't even see all that. So I find it kind of defeats the purpose. Yeah. So please let me know down in the comments what you think and what kind of cowls you like to wear or knit, or yeah. Okay, moving on. So I knit the Spruce Grove socks and I'm working on that cowl, and then this design popped into my head and it just had to happen, and they got knit up in like 3 days. I wrote up the pattern in one, and it was like, okay, I guess that's going. But before I did these, I did this sock. And I am so happy with it because, again, it is loud, it is bright, and it is happy. But I am not, it's not blocked yet either, so apologies. There it is. Anyway, that is a pattern that I will not be releasing until at least May. You know, springtime, because of the colors and because of the happiness. So yes. And then before that, I cast on this sock because the idea and the inspiration just struck me, and I had the yarn already, and happy. But again, it's not blocked. So it's all over eyelets, like all over, and then it has this cute little mohair cuff. And I mean, it's so cute. I love it. Love it. So this is the next pattern that I will be writing up. I was supposed to do that today instead of podcasting, but here we are. Yeah, I'll be writing up that pattern, and I will be putting out a testing call in my Patreon either this week or next week. And then a public call will go out after that if all the spots haven't been filled. So yes, those are the things that have been bringing me joy lately. And apparently this is the year of color work because I had another idea pop into my head. And so I cast on for another new design, I should say. Not a new design, another one, for an all over color work sock. Ta-da! It is using yarn. So I'm sitting here this morning enjoying my peaceful quiet time before the kids get up, And Pepper jumps into this basket and rips out the first ball of yarn she can. So now everything is a tangled mess. Okay, so I am using this beautiful yarn. It was a sock set from Bryn Dye Works. It was, keep wanting to call it a Halloween yarn, but it's not. It was her January colorway for the, she did vegetables last year for her club. This year she's doing minerals. So this was January, and she sent this to me as a present, which was so sweet of her to do. Did not deserve it. But yeah, sorry about that. My battery died. I actually forgot to plug in my phone last night, so I was working on only 20% battery power. And I thought that would be enough to record a whole podcast episode. Anyway, so January Vegetable Club. I think it was cabbage. I can't remember, but oh my God. She is so good at dyeing tonals. They are just so rich with color and they look stunning. And the orange that I am using is called Haberno, however you say it. Habanero. Maybe it's just, I don't know. Anyway, it is from Comfy Cozy Knits. And it's a little plumper because it's, I think her fingerings are 115 grams instead of 100. But it's working really quite well. And I love the pattern. There's some floats. They're looking so good. And yes. I actually did a twisted rib for this one. I haven't knit a twisted rib in quite some time because I am not a fan. Like I am and I am not. I like the look of them. I hate knitting them. But I did it. Anyway. Yes. So I stalled out a bit because I don't know what heel I want to do, whether it's going to be a heel flap gusset or if it's going to be a afterthought or short row heel. So I'm working on that in the back of my mind while it's laying in the to-do pile. So yes, yeah, that is all. Yeah, that is all of the socks that I am working on designing and stuff. I have a couple more ideas in my head for socks I'd like to design, but first I want to get those out. And then I am also working on another sweater design for children. This is all I have done so far. But look at this color. It's blowing up. It is like a lipstick red, but a red, not an orange, like a red. It's blowing out. It's making it look pink. And it's not pink, it's red. It's a beautiful shade of red. It's also from Bryn Dye Works. She had it last year and I just needed it. I only bought one skein and I'm hoping, and I think it should be, plenty to knit this sweater design in. So yes, I am working on that. But sweater designing takes a lot of effort and I am writing down every single step, counting every single row, because last time I didn't exactly do that, and tech editing and grading ended up costing way more than it should have because I missed steps. So learning curve. And then pattern sales were awful. So yeah, that was fun. I definitely lost a lot on that design. But yeah, that's okay. I think that's it. I really think that's all I have to share with you. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I want to cast on a mitten design, maybe two. I have the one already worked out, and then I want to do it's going to be, so the one I have worked out is going to be more of a textured knit, and then the other one I'm thinking about is a cable knit. So, yes. Oh my goodness, this yarn is a mess. I will deal with that later. Yeah. And then I have a hat pattern that I released for test knitting yesterday. And I just emailed all my test knitters today, confirming candidates and stuff. And I showed it to you on my last podcast, and I named it the Zima beanie. And Zima in Polish is winter, because it's winter. I really have no clever reason for the name, because I'm not clever at all. When it comes to naming patterns, it's kind of like either I use the colorway name or the yarn name or just something that comes to me while I'm working on the design. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to think of anything else to share with you knitting wise, but I think that is really it. So let's talk about books. What are you reading? I am currently reading The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman, and I don't know how I feel about it. I love it because it's hilarious in parts. It's about these 4 old folks, 4 or 5 of them. I actually can't even tell you now. 5. I think there's 5 of them actually. Sorry, maybe 4. I was just reading it last night and I can't remember it. Anyway, they live in a retirement village in the UK, and a local developer has been found dead, and then some other things happen, and they're trying to solve the murder. And it's called the Thursday Murder Club because this group of people is actually a club where they go over cold cases and stuff, and they try to solve them themselves. So it's like oh my goodness, what's that Disney show that came out? Only Murders in the Building? Yes, I think that's the name of it. Only Murders in the Building. Kind of like that. But now there's been an actual murder. And the thing is, I've read more than half of the book now, and we're just getting into the actual murder solving part of it all. But I mean, there's been, like, stuff's been happening the whole time. Like, you're very much involved. It's just, it's taken so long to get there. And I don't know if I like that. I want to say I don't, because I just want to get to the end of it and find out what happened. But there's a lot of build-up, a bit of suspense, so it's good that way. And these old folks are just hilarious and so adorable. And we're getting like little snippets into their backstories. So it's fun that way. But I also just want it to be over already. I don't know. Like, it's good. It's really good. But also, I just want to know what happened. So, yeah. Anyway. Over on, what do you got? Anyway, I decided that, well, I didn't decide. I polled and I asked. Anyway, on Patreon, I am running a Discord chat this is something I brought in for the new year to engage more with everybody, and so we could all get to know each other, and it wasn't just me throwing things at you and you commenting. Rather, we work together and we get to know each other and we all hang out together, and it's just more of like a community. Sorry. Anyway, community. That's what this is all about. Is I don't want to just throw things and tell things to you. I want you to engage and be part of what I'm doing and give me your input and tell me how you feel about it and chat together, really get to know each other. So I decided that it might be fun to do a little book club together. And I polled everyone and asked them what they thought and what might be a good idea, and we decided to do the Agatha Christie challenge. So the Agatha Christie, I can't remember what they're called. It's the official Agatha Christie website. It's the whole thing is run by her great-grandson? Grandson or great-grandson? I'm not sure. But he created like the whole website, the whole foundation, network thing, whatever you want to call it. He did it. He's promoting her work. And so every year they put out a challenge, and it's a reading challenge of 12 different books that you read throughout the year, one for each month. But it's themed rather than they give you a list of books. So because she has so many, the list this year is like travel inspired. So January's was read a book that, oh my goodness, I wish I had it in front of me so I could just read it to you, but I don't. It's like a story that takes place on a cruise, or a story that takes place in a faraway land, one that involves jewels, like things like that. So they also give you recommendations. So in January, it was The Man in the Brown Suit. And that's a book that I already own and am reading, kind of, sort of, picking it up, putting it down here and there. I have to finish it. I am like 6 chapters from done. So I need to do that. Anyway, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do this Agatha Christie challenge together. So the book for February is Death on the Nile, which is very fitting considering the movie's coming out very soon. I think Valentine's Day, actually. But yeah, my copy came in. Yay! So I cannot wait to get started on this one because I actually adore Agatha Christie very much. I've read actually quite a few of her books already and own quite a few older copies of her books, like Murder on the Orient Express, which I have not read yet. But I have that one. I have a whole bunch of other ones. And then There Were None. Yes, I have that one. And that one was amazing. Love that book so much. And then BBC, I think it was, came out with their 3-part miniseries on that. And that was very well done. And yeah, that was a really good one. And then because when ordering from Chapters, free shipping over $35, I ended up getting a second book. It's called If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. And it's quite a big book now that I'm looking at it. It's 400 pages, but it's very heavy and thick and yeah. But yeah, it sounds really, really good. And this was a recommendation from someone, and I can't remember who. I can't remember if it was from something I saw on Instagram or if it was a Bookstagram book or like a TikTok thing. Indigo or Chapters now does a TikTok book TikTok thing recommendation list. So if you click their hashtag, it gives you a list of all the books that are being talked about on TikTok. And this was definitely on there. But I was also, I want to say it was maybe from Lindsay's podcast. She calls her podcast The Drafty House. Stella. Hello, Stella Yarns. I got one. Anyway, it's a academia kind of style mystery. It sounds really quite good. But yes, so over on Patreon, we are doing that book challenge, and I can't wait to dig into this one and see how many books we can read this year together. Also, we are thinking of maybe doing a read this many chapters between these and these dates, just to keep each other on track, but also engaged and talking, because half the fun of reading books is talking to other people about them, right? So yeah. We are also running a Knit from Stash Cow, and it is going pretty well. We started in January, just kind of random pickup projects that you're working on. Yeah, that's the different thing about my Knit from Stash Cow. It's pick up your lingering whips, pick up, cast on new projects only with things you already have in your stash, or yarn with your stash, and yeah. Oh, excuse me. So January, I finished Penny's pullover. I also finished my Urban Adventure pullover, and then my patrons worked on test knits that they were working on, finishing up projects for others. My one patron knocked out 2 hats, so that was great. And yeah, everybody who participated and who chatted got a free pattern of their choice from my store. This month, I set it's not a requirement. It's, oh my goodness. I've been at home too much by myself and not communicating with others. So, so every month I have a different goal. Yeah. So this month, because it's February and Valentine's Day, and I decided that it should be, you have to either cast on a project or finish a project that is at least 50% red, white, or pink. Yeah. Bonus points to whoever knits a project with all 3 colors. So yeah, that's the goal for this month, and whoever manages to meet that goal will get to choose something from my Etsy shop. Yeah. And then next month will be another goal. So maybe it'll be something green that we have to knit, or work on some stripy socks, or yeah, I haven't decided yet, but I'm trying to keep it interesting, trying to keep it a little different, and it gets us chatting, and it gets us comparing notes, which is really fun. And pattern recommendations are coming through, which is quite dangerous, but I love it. And I'm also learning about new dyers that I've never even heard of. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really like it. So yeah, that's one thing we're doing over on Patreon. And to join in the Cal, you just have to sign up for the first tier, and you get access to the Discord group, and you get access to the Cal. Yeah. And then I also have 2 other tiers that I created. One is for stitch markers. So every month you will get an exclusive stitch marker that won't be available in the shop for anybody else to buy. You'll get that in your mailbox. And this is on a monthly basis. And then you also get access to the Knit from Stash Cowl and the Discord group. And then the 5th tier I created, so the other new one, is the Knit with Me one-on-one tier. So basically, if you need help with your knitting in any way, or if you want to learn a new technique, if you're just struggling with something, then you can sign up for that. And twice a month for about 30 minutes, we'll sit down together on a Zoom call and figure it out. Yeah. And then the last thing that I have to share with you that's happening over on Patreon is my sock school. So if you already knit socks, but have trouble with like a heel flap and gusset construction, or maybe even a short row heel, then sign up for sock school and I will be going over that stuff. But it's also a beginner's sock school in that I will walk you through how to knit cuff down socks. So we'll start with the cuff, we'll move on to the leg, and then we'll do the heel flap and a short row heel, and then we'll knit the foot, and then we'll knit the toe. And we'll do that all together. But I will also, during this sock school, be designing another sock. It's a design I've been obsessing with for a little bit now, and I think it would be really fun to do it during sock school. It's a color block, color work kind of sock. So during sock school, I will also teach you how to knit color work on socks, because that is clearly my obsession this year. So yeah, and then at the end of sock school, you will get a copy of the color block sock pattern. And to sign up for sock school, you can sign up at any tier. And school starts February 17th, and then every 3 days is a new video, but you don't have to watch it the day it comes out. You can join in whenever you want. The videos will always be there. And last year I ran up the toe-up sock school where I taught how to knit toe-up socks, and so you'll also get access to that because that is available to all tiers as well. So plus all the other videos and patterns and things like that that I have released since starting Patreon last year. If you sign up at the second tier, you will get early access to test knit calls, or first access to test knit calls, as well as first access to pattern releases. And then at the third tier, you also get at the second tier, you also get a 50% off coupon for a pattern of your choice from my shop. And then at the third tier, you get a free pattern from the shop, and this is monthly. You get a free pattern from the shop. You also get, I do vlogs where I show you things I'm working on, talk you through the different things that are happening in my life. I share recipes, different things. I can't really think of it off the top of my head, but you get a first peek at everything I'm designing. And the free pattern. I can't remember what else there is. If you use the link down below and check out my Patreon page, you'll see everything that's available through the different tiers. But yeah. And then with the sock school, I'll also be running the Discord chat. So if you run into any trouble watching the videos or have any questions about one of the steps, then you can just chat with me through the Discord and we'll go through it there. So yeah, I think that's it. Definitely. Watch. I'm going to log off, say bye to you, and then 10 more ideas will pop into my head of things that I should have talked about. But we're going to leave it at that. I think that's it. I should just mention that my Spruce Grove sock pattern comes out next Wednesday. Yes. That's it. I think that's really it. So thank you so much for watching. I apologize for how rambly and random this podcast episode has been. I don't know. I don't know what the word would be, but thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah. Have a great day. Bye.